What is up, everybody? Welcome into this Friday episode of Flippin Bats. We got a lot of good stuff as usual. Tale of the tape happens with a good weekend series we got coming up. Twins and Angels is the series we'll be talking about. Things that make you go, Again, we got a lot of them this week, and they are hysterical. As well as a new Oakland A's binding agreement, so we've been told, as well as some Twitter questions at the end. This one's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get to it.
It's a blowout. 8th inning, 10-3. Bases are loaded for Verlander, who waits on a 3-0 pitch. He swings, and it's a high fly ball. Deep center field. It is gone. Home run. And a huge bat flip to celebrate. All right, Ben, start the show already.
Happy Friday, my friends. We have made it to the end of the week. The weekend is near. Alex, you and I have a pretty big, cool weekend this weekend. We are heading up our friend Michael Buckland running in a marathon this
Thank
weekend.
you for reminding me. I just forgot for a moment. I'm like, I'm not going
ever
anywhere.
Marathon takes place, so good luck to him. We're both going to go watch him there. Hopefully he doesn't trip and fall. But
way to put that out there. Hey, Buck. Don't fall. Also, you sure you want to do this? Okay, cool. We'll be there to support you. You got this.
So that'll be fun. We're going up to Ojai?
So it starts in Ojai, and then it ends in Ventura. So it ends at the beach. So we'll be at the finish line. I don't know about you, but I'm going to the finish line, and I'm just going to, have a sign and cheer him on. And
yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
I've never spent time up
I
there,
have
so.
zero desire to ever run a marathon. You?
The only thing I run from is problems. I don't run in races. I was paid to run 90 feet at a time as fast as I can. And sometimes if you hit a ball really hard, you need to turn a corner and run another 90 feet.
Yeah.
I don't do distance. I absolutely never do, never have. I don't like it. I can't do it. I can just run fast in straight lines.
See, the craziest thing is, like, I played soccer in college, and you average
endurance,
7-ish plus miles a game. Hated long distance running.
What?
But short little sprints, I'm fast. I was great. I love it. I can do like 1 to 3 miles now is what I do daily.
Wait, I have a question.
Okay.
So you played college soccer.
Yep.
I played baseball in college, obviously, and our baseball field was right next to the soccer field.
Yeah.
So I would look over all the time, and all they do in practice, I swear, is just run.
There's sprints. And then, like, scrimmages you're running, but that's different. You're not thinking about it. I need to be distracted. I can't just, like, run for an extended period of time with, like, no purpose but a finish line.
No purpose.
That just doesn't feel right. If I'm, like, chasing after someone or going after the ball or slide tackling, like, yeah, let's go. That's fine. But, yeah.
You know who's running from their problems, Alex?
Oh, the Oakland A's.
The Oakland A's.
Yes,
They're
they
just
are.
Running on to Vegas and got a bit of a new update for everybody. I think it was, 2 weeks ago? It was said that there was a binding agreement for the Oakland A's to move to Vegas. And then guess what? That agreement that was binding just unbound, and it was no longer a binding agreement. And then there was another agreement in place, which now apparently is binding and final with Bally's and the Tropicana hotel site there. The Oakland A's have reached a binding deal with Bally's to build a new $1.5 billion ballpark at the site of the Tropicana on the Las Vegas Strip. Stadium will be 30,000 seat capacity and a partially retractable roof.
Is that average, like 30,000 fans?
No, that's well below.
Okay. It's
a smaller stadium. But
smart. Then it looks crowded when you don't have that many fans
but
there.
I think it's gonna do well there. But I will say, when we went to the WBC, the Miami Stadium is pretty small seat-wise, capacity-wise.
And they still can't fill it up during the regular season.
Well,
but anything in Vegas is going to do great, right?
Yeah.
It's like sports betting capital of the world.
I think it's going to do great.
Everything's going to do great in Vegas.
So this agreement is binding June 5th. I spoke about this last time.
Quote, binding.
It still has not passed the legislation process, which they have until June 5th, which is the end of the legislation process. That is the final hurdle before this is officially 100% happening. But everything is in place now. The Tropicana employees have all been told that the resort is going to remain open for 18 to 24 more months before closing to begin redevelopment for a Major League Baseball stadium. So things are happening. It appears this is happening, but it all comes down to the legislation at this point. But another step in the direction of the A's moving to Vegas.
But then a step backwards currently in their current attendance in Oakland.
Jesus.
Because since the news has come out, they have had the smallest crowds in 44 years at the Coliseum. I mean, think about it. Fans are pissed now. Okay, you're just going to leave us here. Why am I supporting you now? I get that. I understand that. And as someone who has worked a lot of games at the Coliseum, that's hard to do because there's already not that many fans there. But this looks like a ghost town. If you're watching the show right now, we're showing a video of like a 360 view of the stands, and there was maybe 10 people that you could see there.
The announced attendance the other night was 2,064 at the game. And it's frustrating because I remember, I've said this before, one of the best playoff atmospheres I've ever experienced is the Oakland Coliseum. But like, just thinking back the days when Grant Balfour was coming in out of the bullpen, blaring music, the place was going crazy. And then like I saw a video the other day on Twitter. Nobody was in the stands. It was during a game, and a fan went and like stood like a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And an employee went and yelled at the person to go back to their seat. And it's like it's just a bad experience, right? I don't blame them for not going. It just sucks. The whole situation sucks with the Oakland Coliseum.
Which is brutal because this stadium isn't going to be ready for another couple of years. So now
2027.
Yeah. So Oakland fans are now going to have to deal with this for another couple of years. They're going to have to figure it out. Ownership
and players
how to get fans in the stands, because as we saw during COVID, I covered games during COVID with no fans in the stands. It is not the same. The energy is not there. The environment is different. And you're playing the game, yes, for yourself and your team, but you're playing it for the fans. The fans are another teammate on that field that just create the atmosphere that is so needed in the game of baseball.
Yeah, the problem is they don't care. Like you think like,
Clearly.
oh, we still have 4 more years here. How are we going to fill the stands? They don't care. So that's why this situation's frustrating.
That makes me go,
I feel for A's fans for sure.
Yeah,
Things
same.
that make you go,
Well,
it's time.
Yeah, so let's get into that.
We
It's
got
a nice
some hysteria. I'm excited. This is becoming one of my favorite segments. I love it.
Okay. In things that make you go, let's start with our first one. Are you ready? Zac Gallen hit a bird with a pitch during warm-ups.
Yep, this also happened at the Oakland Coliseum. So shout out to that poor bird who thought he was okay to enter the Oakland Coliseum and nobody would be there. Well, guess what? Zac Gallen still happens to be there, and he hit the bird with a curveball while throwing a flat ground in the outfield. And yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah. So what happens here? This is just, another step in Zac Gallen becoming a Diamondbacks legend. Randy Johnson hitting a bird. Little bit different situation. That was in a game, and the bird just exploded. But the poor bird. Maybe the bird was also a legend. Like we talk about the talk went to Zac Gallen following in the footsteps of Randy Johnson. Well, nobody's talking about the bird.
Ben.
Maybe the bird was a legend.
Ben. No.
And again, he thought he could just fly through. He's heard
nobody's welcome
heard from
in the
his friends
Coliseum.
that it's a
park.
It's
a park now.
It's a national park.
Yeah,
but he
That's
was
bad.
mistaken.
Yeah, those are weird.
That
That makes you go,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to our next things that make you go, We had an old man race to first base. Miguel Cabrera and Rich Hill raced to first base.
You kind of you're kind of here all the time in baseball. It was a race to the bag, but the way this play set up with Miguel Cabrera, 40 years old, and Rich Hill, 43 years old, it was a hard hit ground ball from Miguel Cabrera to the first baseman in the hole. He caught it very quickly, and it just immediately turned into an all-out race from Rich Hill trying to get to first base and Miguel Cabrera running as fast as he could to first base. Rich Hill ends up beating him. It was a bang-bang play at first base. But seeing these guys, it almost was in slow motion.
I know.
I mean, if you're watching the play, if it wasn't for seeing how hard the ball was hit and the dive at first base, if you just start the video at where they start running, it almost seems like the video is at like 0.5 speed. It was incredible. It's incredible. I love Miggy. I wish he
Yeah.
was safe there. It's been a tough start to the year for him. But just this situation, it really was an all-out race to first base for these two the old fellas.
I always get nervous when I see pitchers running to first base like that because I've seen a couple in real life, big injuries, and their age as well. So it was kind of like, for me, I was like, oh, no, please be okay. Just let everyone be healthy. Like, please be okay. And they were, and it was fine.
I mean, the guy's 43
That's
years
what
old.
I'm saying.
He grunts every time he throws a 68-mile-an-hour curveball. Every single time. How did he run over to first base that fast? I don't know. 0.5 speed looked pretty friggin' fast to me for out of Rich Hill. By the way, best nickname in sports, Rich Hill. I don't know if I can repeat it on here, but I really don't know if I can.
Do it.
I don't know.
Just do it. I don't know it. I want to know it.
Rich Hill.
Yeah.
Rich Hill is his name.
Yeah.
Richard, nickname for
Yeah.
Richard.
Oh.
And Hill,
Yeah.
obviously. So Dick Mountain is his nickname.
Okay.
Best nickname in
It's
sports.
good. That's funny.
Yeah.
I wonder, when they put like the fun, and you get to
they
choose
did. His
your
player,
own
what was
jerseys.
his,
Did he do that?
I think it was
you
D
do,
Mount.
like-
I think he did D Mount.
Okay.
Oh, they told him
him
he
he
couldn't.
couldn't.
Yeah. But I think he did, I
okay.
forget what it was.
What,
I
like an
wanna
eggplant emoji and like the mountain? Who knows?
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to our next things that make you go, Mets #1 prospect, Francisco Alvarez, leaves Scott Boras, one of the biggest agents out there, for Bad Bunny.
So, Scott Boras, love him or hate him, he's the best at what he does for getting guys
Yes.
as much money as humanly possible. So, Francisco Alvarez, the #1 Mets prospect, makes his comes up to the big leagues, is starting to show some big signs, do some big things, and he's got his Boras agent, and then it comes out, I think it was on Tuesday, that he is leaving Scott Boras for Bad Bunny. Huh?
Yeah.
Bad Bunny? What does that even mean? So then I looked into it. Bad Bunny is starting this new venture, Rimas Sports Agency, and this new venture is an expansion of that mission as we aim to bring greater representation to the Latin community in the world of sports. And Francisco Alvarez is one of the big names that is now represented by Bad Bunny.
And they just launched last month. So you're going from one of the most established agents in the game of baseball who knows exactly what he needs to do to get you exactly what you need to now a fresh, new, entertainment-based agency that has never made a giant Major League Baseball deal before.
Yeah. So, but this new venture will be a
Interesting.
sports agency.
Yeah.
And his agent, just to clarify, is not Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
He has an agent within this sports agency. But still, being that young and a top prospect and leaving Boras for him. But good for Bad Bunny for starting this and wanting to represent the Latin culture and community and sports. Great. It was just surprising to hear leaving Boras for Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. Yep. Okay. Moving on to our next things that make you go, Christian Walker getting ejected for clapping.
Yeah, that's it. He was
What?
ejected for clapping. Truly, let me paint the picture here. In the 5th inning of a game, Christian Walker strikes out. First base umpire rules that he went around on a check swing. Now, Christian Walker wasn't the biggest fan of that ruling. But later, the very next inning, Nick Ahmed at the plate had not gone around on a drag bunt attempt after the catcher appealed. The umpire says, no, he didn't. Walker applauded the call.
Yeah.
Because it was good for his team
that
the batter didn't go. Worked in his team's favor, and the home plate umpire, not even the first base umpire, looks over and ejects him for clapping for a call that benefited his team. Are you kidding me? Now, there might be a bit of sarcasm and a round of applause for an umpire getting it right, but I can't even say that. I don't even know. And the umpire certainly can't. And you certainly can't eject a Major League Baseball player for your ego getting involved because you think that maybe, possibly, he was giving a sarcastic clap to the umpire, which, by the way, wouldn't even be ejectable in its own right. Like, who cares? Get your ego out of it. But it's not even, I don't even really think he was. You can watch, you can see his clap, and he's legitimately clapping for the batter not going and it being a ball on his batter. Like, it is the definition of a soft ejection from this umpire. Absolutely ridiculous. The home plate umpire ejected him. Huh? That's
like, wasn't even on the field. Was it like that?
Yeah.
No,
you
that's
know when
silly. That's silly.
And not applause, a clapping could be grounds for an ejection. Let's say if Christian Walker was out at first base where he plays, and that first base umpire who called him out makes finally a very obvious and good call, and Christian Walker turns to him, gets up in his face, and claps. You know
that
what?
Makes
Fine.
sense.
Eject. This is the complete opposite of that situation. Come on.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. This next one is also things that make you go, huh? Jay's manager, John Schneider, yelling, "Shut up, fat boy."
There's so much to this. I don't
like
the whole situation with the Rays and the Yankees that we talked, or the Jays and Yankees that we talked all about yesterday in depth. This was by far my favorite part of everything. That the coaches and managers started yelling at each other in the third base box, which is right in front of them. They were mad that the coach in third base was standing where he was standing. So they start yelling at each other. And all of a sudden, John Schneider just looks over to the Yankees dugout. Clearly somebody's talking, and he waves his hand out and goes, "Shut up. Shut up, fat boy." What are you doing? Like, what? Oh, it's incredible. I love it. I love every second of it. But it just was like, huh? And then the target of that, which I later found out was Brad Wilkerson, went on to say that, or maybe it wasn't him, but one member of the traveling party said of Schneider, he should look in the mirror. This just turned into high school baseball pettiness, where somebody like hits a home run on the other team, and then they're jawing, and somebody says, "Shut up, fat boy."
Yeah.
This is a major league, and with two very good teams, and you have a manager just saying, "Shut up, fat boy."
I mean, we were seeing this a little bit across the league. We just saw it with Bryce Harper and the Rockies last week. It's getting feisty and dramatic, and I'm here for it.
You know what these two teams should do?
What?
Especially Schneider and whoever you're saying that to, you just got to duke it out. Just
clear the benches?
Go out on the field, clear the benches, and,
good old-fashioned brawl.
Getting a real brawl.
Yeah.
Alex, Saturday with Smoltz, obviously tomorrow. I talked to Smoltz about brawls in baseball, and one of the stories he is going to tell is incredible about a brawl he got in. Let's play a little bit of that.
As soon as I get ready to pitch and look up, is John Cangelosi was at the plate, and he stands 2 inches from the plate. So it hit him, and he charged the mound. And so now I'm in a position where I've got to do something. Throw my glove down, get him in a headlock. We get down on the ground. I mean, we're both on the bottom of the pile. Charlie O'Brien, I think, pulled him out and might have got a few licks in. And we're at the bottom of the pile. And I know my dad at the time was in the second row watching all of this unfold.
I mean, that's exactly what they need to do. I mean, John Smoltz just saying, I didn't know what to do, so threw my glove down and got him in a headlock.
Yeah.
So I went on to ask him in this. You got to listen to Saturday with Smoltz tomorrow. He went on to talk all about, because I was like, well, why a headlock? Like, shades of Nolan Ryan. Did you just remember, well, Nolan Ryan did this? So he went all on about this and ended up talking about another brawl that he was a part of, as well as some really good conversations as well. So that drops tomorrow, same time as usual. So make sure you check that out. But they needed to do that.
They did. Question for you.
Ooh.
Have you ever gotten in a brawl?
Yes.
Okay. On the field? Off the field? Both?
I've never been in an off the field fight. Never. I'm a pacifist. Don't count me out.
Okay.
But on a baseball field, and this is always interesting because in the minor leagues you have like meetings about this stuff, and you're told if there's fines involved for benches clearing. So what happens if you get in a fight, benches clearing brawl in the minor leagues, if you leave the bench or your position at all, you are automatically handed the fine, and it comes out of your paycheck.
Ooh.
So,
and that's not a very big paycheck in the minors.
No, it's not. But the problem becomes, I've talked a little bit about this, but
yeah,
it's called kangaroo court in the minor leagues, where teams, you like have your own court where you hold each other accountable. And if a player does something like, let's say like trips on the field or does something ridiculous, or like one time we fined a guy because every single at bat he went out on deck and was like talking to his mom in the stands, like just stuff like that. Like funny stuff that happens. Kangaroo court.
Okay.
So what happens if there's a benches clearing brawl and you don't go out with your team, you're going to get fined more in kangaroo court than you do from the actual fine you're going to get. So you might as well
just got to go
like
for
if you don't
it.
have your teammates' backs, like it's a really bad. Like imagine me playing right field. Our pitcher throws at somebody, batter starts charging the mound, and everybody charges. I'm just out there standing like, nope, go team, you got him. No, you got to run in. So I think there were two situations. One when I was in the outfield, which is always interesting being in right field because I end up being a part of like running in with the bullpen. Which is always hysterical to me because nobody
like
has,
jumping over. You're like, you're not going to hurt yourself. This is like.
No, and I know a lot of the guys. So we're running in like, hey, good to see you. All right, and then you get up there.
Fun.
And then the other one I remember was in Lowell, the short season for the Boston Red Sox, the Lowell Spinners. And we were on the road, and we were in the dugout. And brawl starts. I never was in like a haymakers.
It's like a pushing.
Yeah, we go out, and we had to leave the dugout. And there was like one guy that we got good time because he was up in the locker room to pee during this time. We fined the hell out of him for not being out there with us. But yeah, it's always interesting. And the fines are a lot, I imagine it's the same in the big leagues, but in the minors, I get fined $50 for, I get paid $50 in the year. What do you mean you're going to fine me $50?
You want me on your team for a brawl. I broke a girl's nose in high school. I took out ankles.
Curry.
I broke ligaments.
You broke a nose?
Oh, yeah, baby. Elbow.
What?
Yeah, so I was called the Bulldog. I was the enforcer. My whole thing, so I was like center, fullback. First 10 minutes of the game, I'd go find someone, take him down just to pump the team up. You don't want to mess with me on a field.
In college you'd do this?
Uh-huh. I broke the girl's nose in high school, and then college it was like, okay, find someone. And I'm smaller than everyone else because I'm 5'3", and forwards, I'm defense. Forwards are usually really tall, so I get low. I had different strategies. Step on a foot, knock him over, slide tackle him in. I was great.
Gosh.
Bulldog coming through.
What?
Yeah. I'm tough. And I took like kickboxing in college, so I was like ready to go.
Yeah. Alex Curry. I never would have imagined in a million years.
That's why sports was my outlet.
Are you kidding?
Sports was my outlet.
Something happens at home and you just go run over a girl and break her nose. Hey, sorry.
No, that was, I didn't mean for that to happen, but it did.
Did
then I got escorted. I didn't get a red card. I think I got a yellow card because it was an accident.
Was it though? What did she do? What did she do to you?
We were playing each other the whole time. It was at West. So I was at Maricosta. She was at West Torrance. And yeah, I had to be like escorted on and off the campus after that ever since.
Well,
yeah. Fun times.
God
Bulldog
forbid
coming
you play
through.
hard against Alex Curry. She'll break your nose.
Well, remember we were doing that one TikTok. I almost took you out. And
yeah,
you're like, that was really hard.
I have a torn left labrum. From
don't ask me to bump into you. It's going to be hard.
Back out of place for the 30th time. Good Lord.
All right. Moving on to our next things that make you go, Perez, born in 2003.
That's really it. Yuri Perez of the Miami Marlins is now the youngest player and the first ever Major League Baseball player to be born in 2003 to make his debut. 2003! What? Are you kidding me? That's insane. I don't even know how to comprehend that. 2003. Huh? That's all I got on that one. I mean, come on. That's crazy.
This last one's fun.
Yeah.
Our last things that make you go, Juan Soto's picture in the Padres dog calendar.
So
it's not with the dog. We'll just say that.
So the Padres did like a pet dog calendar to give out to, I think, like season ticket holders or like one of the giveaways when you walk into the stadium. So this was a couple of weeks ago, a week or so ago. And every month features a player with a picture of their dog on the calendar.
Yeah.
A picture of the player and their dog representing January, February, blah, blah, blah. Well, not August, because August was Juan Soto's month to be on the calendar. Now, Juan Soto has pet allergies, bad pet allergies. So instead, he went to a nearby PetSmart in full uniform and took his photo in front of a fish tank. And it's the most incredible photo I think I have ever seen. It's just Juan Soto in full uniform in front of a random fish tank, probably at like a PetSmart or a Petco. It's awesome. I love it.
Like doodles are hypoallergenic. He could have had a doodle.
I don't take it up.
Okay, I won't.
Maybe nobody got in his ear about the doodle possibility.
Okay, just saying.
I loved the fish tank.
It is pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
That's the one
you went from
non-dog.
Doodle to Dora. Get it?
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Sorry.
Wait, Dory. I was like, Dora's the Dora Explorer. We're not doing
Dory is
okay.
what I was thinking.
We've lost it. Yeah, I got it. I was like, wait a second here.
Yeah, Dora. I don't know where that. Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
Explorer.
Dora
the Explorer.
Yeah.
I'm a mess.
We're doing Dory. Okay.
I
Let's move
make
on.
me go,
Yeah, Ben, you're pretty today. We both are, but
All
that's
right.
okay. All right, let's move on to one of the big series to watch this weekend. In our Tale of the Tape this week, we are doing the Angels and the Twins, and Ben and I are each going to pick which offense, defense, manager, starters, and bullpen we think is going to be better between the Angels and the Twins this weekend, okay? And also who we think is going to take the series, which is going to add on to our ongoing bet.
Yeah.
We have
We'll
who's
see
going to
if we
win
end
Tale
up.
of the Tape
You know,
at the end of
sometimes
the
we
year.
end up on the same side. You know.
Yeah, I don't know who you picked, so you're going to go first, and let's start with the offense. Who you going with?
Offense, to me, this is very, very close. They both have a very good offense. I'm going to go with the Angels because of Shohei and because of Trout and because Carlos Correa is not doing Carlos Correa things right now. But they're both very good offenses. I just think in total, the Angels lineup is doing just a smidge better right now, and I think they're very good. I went with the Angels.
We are the same on this.
Okay.
As you mentioned, it's hard not to pick a team when you have two of the best players in that lineup with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. And then overall, the Angels just have a better batting average than the Twins right now. Obviously, as you mentioned, too, their top player, Carlos Correa, who's supposed to be great, isn't at that level that he needs to be yet. So I'm taking the Angels.
Okay.
Moving on to defense. Who you got?
I have the Twins. The Angels are like dead last in fielding percentage.
Yep.
I mean, it's the Twins. I don't have much here. The Angels are not good defensively.
Yep. I also went with the Twins because, as you mentioned, the Angels are in last in fielding, but they also have the most errors committed by any team in Major League Baseball. So
Not good.
Not
great.
good. Okay, moving on to manager. Who you going with?
I'm going to go with the Twins and Rocco Baldelli, former manager of the year. Really, since he's come over and taking control of the Twins, I like Rocco Baldelli a lot. I like the way he I like really everything about him and what he's done. It's tough to we don't have much playoff action to go off of in terms of like how he pushes buttons in the playoffs, because I think being a manager becomes a lot more important when you get to playoff baseball. But from what we have to go off of and the moves he makes and the accountability he takes for his team and the media and all of those reasons, give me Rocco Baldelli and the Twins.
We're the same up until this point. I also have Rocco. Also, just because Angels manager Phil Nevin hasn't really proven much yet. We don't have much to go off of. And yeah, you can't compete against someone who's won manager of the year so far. Okay, let's move on to starters. Who you got?
I'm going to take the Twins here as well. I love the Twins rotation. This year, it's probably been the most underrated rotation in baseball in terms of just like guys. Pablo Lopez has been huge for them. Joe Ryan, obviously dominant and a great ace of a staff type of pitcher. And Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray, there's an argument for he's been the best pitcher in baseball so far this year. That's how good he's been. Dominant top guys of the rotation. Good depth there. I will take the Twins starting rotation.
We're the same still. I am also taking the Twins, and I'll just dive a little deeper into why the numbers don't lie. They are top 2 in stats and pitching stats in almost everything in Major League Baseball. They have the second best ERA, the best whip in Major League Baseball, the most strikeouts in Major League Baseball thrown, and quality starts tied for second. You got to pick the Twins, especially what we've seen with the struggles, kind of besides Shohei, that we've seen with the Angels pitching staff.
Okay.
Last one, bullpen.
Bullpen, I went Twins as well.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're gonna be different there based off your reaction. I don't know what the numbers say here. I'm very much so using the eye test. Give me Yohan Duran at the back end of the bullpen with Jorge Lopez, all-star last year. Duran throws 103 with a 97-mile-an-hour splitter. He's disgusting. They have a good bullpen. And the Angels, in my opinion, just don't have the arms that are capable of getting those outs the way that the Twins are. Like, you get to the 7th, 8th, 9th inning with the Angels, and it just feel, you know what? Estevez has been good this year. But I don't feel confident with the Angels holding late leads, and I feel like with Duran and Jorge Lopez that they have a very, very, very good back into the bullpen.
Well, you said you don't know the numbers. Good thing I do.
Numbers Curry's going to give them
Good thing
to me.
I do, and I am picking the Angels bullpen here. I'm going to give you the numbers and the reason why. They have a better ERA, 8th best. Twins are 12th best. Second most saves in Major League Baseball. Twins are 14th. They have more strikeouts. 4th fewest walks in Major League Baseball. Twins are the 25th. So based off the numbers here, I'm going Angels. But it looks like we're both picking the Twins to take the series.
Yeah, I go a lot of eye test.
Okay.
You dive into numbers.
I go both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go. Okay. So no wager here.
No
We're both
wager
on
here.
Twins?
That's 2 weeks in a row.
There could be an instance, by the way. There could be an instance where we could have more people on one side, but you could
then you
say
pick
like,
the
but
other
I'm
team?
going to take this team for this series, and then explain why. I'm not going to do that here.
Okay.
I'm
not either.
I'll go
But
with the
that's good to know that
Twins are
that's
playing-
one of the future.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
We'll allow it
I'm into it.
because there's a pinky on the line. Don't forget.
No,
pinky
we are
nail.
no. We are changing.
Well, you
that.
say no, but a deal's a deal.
No. Also, by the All-Star game, we'll have like exactly what the wager is.
All right. Twitter
Yes.
questions.
Oh, these are
time.
going to be fun.
Are they?
We're wrapping up today's show with some fan cues. And let's get started with our first one from Jay Hernandez.
Okay.
Ben, I know you said in a recent episode that baseball is a game where you can't buy a championship, but you can give me a 1 through 9 lineup of active Major League Baseball players that could absolutely win a World Series right now and maybe even a starting rotation. If you had to put a 1 through 9 lineup together.
Let me think through this because I haven't dove into this.
Okay.
So if I say something here that you're like, how could you not pick so and so? I'm just off the top of my head gonna go around the field and pick players for my team that I think you can't buy a championship. This team could absolutely win a championship hands down. Catcher, Adley Rutschman. First base, Freddie Freeman. Second base, he said active. He's almost back. I'll go Jose Altuve.
Okay.
Third base, Nolan Arenado. Shortstop, my team needs some speed. I'll go Trey Turner at shortstop. Outfield, I'm going to go Ronald Acuna, Mike Trout, Aaron Judge.
Oof, yeah.
DH, Shohei Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
Pitching staff, did I do the whole offense? I did.
Yeah.
Pitching staff, give me assuming health,
Yeah.
Jacob deGrom, Garrett Cole, Justin,
2 more.
2 more pitchers. DeGrom, Justin, Garrett Cole. I need a lefty. Shane McClanahan.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm missing like a superstar. Let's see. Spencer Strider.
Okay. I was like, are you gonna go Strider or Sandy? I didn't know which way you were gonna go.
And then closer. No Edwin Diaz healthy. Give me Josh Hader.
Okay.
That team wins a World Series.
Yeah, it's an all-star team.
That team wins 150 games and a World Series.
150 games. Hot take right there.
That was a great question.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. Okay, next question comes from Chelsea. Baseball game as a first date. Good idea or bad idea?
I have a strong opinion here.
Okay.
First date?
Yes.
Very first date?
Yes.
Bad idea.
What? No.
Bad idea.
No.
Alex, let me explain. I want to get your opinion.
Okay.
What do you mean? Okay. You have 3 hours
yes.
of just sitting there awkwardly next to each other. You don't have 3 hours of things to talk about. You just don't. You just met. The game.
You have entertainment in front of you. It is perfect. You have the game to watch and talk about. You have people watching. Get up, going to get drinks, get food. Keep going. Tell me why it's not a good idea. I'm going to keep countering you as to why it's a great idea.
What? It's not a great idea. There's no world in which you're going to convince me of this. What if it doesn't go well? You can't get it's 3 hours. You're just trapped there. I hate this guy. I don't like him. I want to go, but I can't. You're just trapped there for 3 hours. What if one person's not like super duper into baseball? And I don't mean like doesn't like it, just not like a diehard where they can't like discuss everything happening on the field. Fine, but it's too much time. I even think like a nice dress up dinner for a first date is too much time. No.
I'm going to give you an example.
Great.
Of an A-list celebrity first date to a baseball game where one side was a huge fan, the other side didn't even know a thing about baseball, ended up getting married. Just listen to a podcast interview with Priyanka Jonas, and her now husband, Nick Jonas, took her to a Dodgers game for their very first date. She talks about, had no idea what baseball was, didn't even know what to wear to it, was trying to Google like what to talk about at the game. She said she showed up, had the most fun she's ever had in her life. She didn't need to know about the game. He was explaining things. They were having fun. And they're married with a kid now. So
I'm glad you brought this up.
I'm going to tell you, a baseball game as a first date is a really fun thing to do. And Ben, I think it would be wise for you to bring a first date to when your brother is pitching at a game.
Hell
so
no.
Someone can see the real Ben Verlander
Alex.
and how unwell you get. And hey, can I handle him at his lowest and can I handle him at his highest moments?
Couple of points to make on your celebrity marriage. One, it's Nick Jonas. If I was a girl, I would do anything Nick Jonas wants. Okay, I'd go sit at a 25-inning baseball game with Nick Jonas because it's Nick Jonas. Two, it's a Hollywood celebrity couple. That was your first mistake. Those don't hardly work out anyway. The percentages have to be like 30% they work. So, couple things working against you there. 2, 3, I don't even know what point I'm on. They're awful, terrible. Date 2, fine. See if you like the person first. What if you go on the date and you hate the person? They're just terrible.
It's a public setting. You're safe.
No, safe physically, yes, but not emotionally. You got to endure. You just got to fucking wear it. Oh.
So I think for you, probably not a good idea. I love it. I'm all for it. We're just going to have to agree to disagree here. Okay? So let's move on to our final fan question because it kind of ties in. Okay? Which ballpark or baseball experience would you choose for a date if your date doesn't know much about the game?
Which ballpark am I choosing if your date doesn't know much about the game?
Yeah.
I would
fun experience. That's what you got to think about.
Yeah. I'm thinking Fenway comes to mind.
Yeah.
The history there. There's a lot, the Green Monster history there. You could walk out to the outfield, the one red seat where Ted Williams hit the ball like 1 billion feet away. Explain that. The song Sweet Caroline, that would be a cool place to first go. What are some other good options, Alex?
So I think
Wrigley, I think.
Yeah, I think hardcore fan stadiums where you're going to get to experience like diehard fans going crazy. So New York, Philly, Boston, Chicago, all these places where it is an aggressive passion where you also kind of get to feed off of the fans. Yeah, Ben.
I got a new one.
Okay.
Camden Yards, the bird bath now. Go sit in the bird
There
bath.
you
Get
go.
some water.
There you go.
Water on. Yeah, get some water sprayed on you. Maybe there's.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm also like biased, so like Dodger Stadium. A lot of good people watching, a lot of good celebrity sighting, really good game entertainment, good food.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, just as long as it's not a first date.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or make it a first date.
Second date.
Do it.
Second date on. I do want to clarify. I think sporting events for dates are great ideas.
Yeah.
The question specifically was first date, which to me means you've done nothing other than communicate via text.
Yeah.
Or like just set up the date. So the first time you ever talk in person, it's just it's setting yourself up for awkwardness, sitting next to somebody for 3 hours. It's tough. That's
I'm
all.
here for it.
That's my whole point.
I'm here for it.
But take your date to a sporting event, just not the first
Do
date.
it. That's it.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right. That was
That was a
fun.
heated Friday. That was an off the rails, kind of back on the rails.
It got off the rails.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
if it ever got
Friday.
back on
It's
the rails,
Friday.
but that was great. Things that make you go, was great. There was just a lot of good stuff. Tomorrow, Saturday with Smoltz. You've heard a couple of snippets over the last 2 days, but we talk all about the Mets and what he sees with them and can they and how they will turn it around. Obviously, the baseball brawl, we heard just a little bit about that, but that is an awesome conversation, and it went on and on for a good bit and about some other brawls. So make sure you check that out tomorrow. It drops at the same time, I think, 5 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Pacific time. So make sure you're subscribed to Flippin Bats wherever you listen, Apple, Spotify, wherever. We're also on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and you can watch every single episode as well on YouTube at Flippin Bats Pod for all of them. That does it for this Friday episode.
Go Bucko!
Until tomorrow, my friends. Peace.